All right, let's shift focus to more news break that's just coming in. This one in relation to the India-China border talks that will take place tomorrow. Now, this is the 19 Corps Commander talks that would take place tomorrow. This, of course, amid the border standoff that still prevails. So, the 19 Corps Commander talks that will be taking place tomorrow, significant in many ways, given that there are still a lot of friction points in the border areas. Let's go across to our senior executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor, also joining us. Abhishek, talk to us about those friction points that would be taken up in this 19th military talks between India and China tomorrow.
Well, essentially, this is about pulling back troops from areas like Depsang and Dimchok and some others which had seen deployments from both the sides post Galwan Valley clash. Samiksha, but what is important is that the 19th round of talks is happening after the meeting of NSA Ajit Doval and Wang Yi, the acting foreign minister at that time of China, and now, of course, foreign minister again, of course, special representative for these talks on the sidelines of BRICS summit in South Africa. And also, these talks are crucially happening just a little over 10 days before Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Xi Jinping are going to be together at the BRICS Leaders Summit on 22nd, 24th of August this month, that is in South Africa again. So I think this is going to be important. It is expected that both sides push, particularly Indian side impresses upon the Chinese that there have to be some concessions given by the Chinese. Remember, just 5 days back, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar had made it amply clear that this situation of stalemate cannot continue. In fact, in the talks in South Africa, NSA Doval had made it clear to Wang Yi that there is a lack of trust, and that is the reason why normalcy is not prevailing in India-China relations. So if the two leaders, when they meet on the sidelines of BRICS Summit, if they meet, that is, even if there has to be a modicum of communication like a handshake or a greeting, there has to be some concession by the Chinese side. So that's backdrop in which these talks are happening. And from the Indian side, the Corps Commander of the 14th Corps, Leh-based Corps, Lieutenant General Bali, and on the Chinese side, possibly the commander of the South Xinjiang district. They are going to have those talks on the Chushul-Moldo side, on the Indian side of the border. Hopefully, you can expect some move forward given the backdrop in which these talks are happening, which is, of course, the possible meeting of Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping at the BRICS summit in South Africa later this month.
Yes. Abhishek, just a quick follow-up question. In these 19 Corps Commander talks, can we expect some consensus, particularly in the friction areas, which include Demchok and Depsang areas along the border area?
See, we have seen pullback of troops. We have seen those buffer zones having been created. And yet, in the month of May, I believe, in fact, after the commander-level talks in April, there was these reports that the Chinese were again up to breaching those buffer zones. So that's going to be a matter of discussion, of course. And remember, India has been bolstering its infrastructure along the border, not just along the line of actual control here, but along the McMahon line there, and at every place along our northern borders. We are developing those vibrant villages as part of the Vibrant Villages program of 3,000 odd villages, which are going to see upscaled infrastructure to make sure that those Indian citizens living in these border areas have all amenities, as also, of course, the infrastructure is up to speed for any defense requirements. So I think in that sense, the message that has been sent to the Chinese is very clear, that we are not going to pull back down in any manner.
Yes.
The latest report suggests that even our Neoma air base, which is a forward air base beyond Leh, is being readied with bolstered infrastructure for even bigger jets and fighter jets. So obviously, the recent upgrade of the Srinagar base, the squadron from MiG-21s, which are going to be number plated, I believe next month to MiG-29. The message is clear that we are not going to back down unless the Chinese realize that confrontation is not in the interest of any side.
Yes, Abhishek, thank you for your insights. Let's take a word quickly from Major General A.K. Sivach also joining us. Major General, good morning. 19th Corps Commander talks tomorrow. Your quick thoughts. Do you think some consensus can probably be reached upon when we talk about the friction areas in the border areas?
There should be always a hope, but the chances are very less. The point is that disengagement has taken from Bogra hot spring and also from north and south of Pangangsu. The two issues which are very, one can say that is been very thorny and so far no solution has been found out. One is the disengagement at Dapsang Bal and another at Damcho. To me, it does not look any forward progress will be made on Dapsang because the Chinese are not letting the Indians to go from petrol 10 to 30. And the point is that they feel that where they are at present, they have a strategic advantage because they can directly approach Nubra Valley and Chaitan Glacier bypassing Dibios. Whereas India wants that we must able to go back to our original place, able to patrol that because that is a place, which gives you a strategic advantage of directly going to a western highway and also dominate that cycling. So that is where, the point is that the chances of that getting resolved are very, very less. There may be something move forward in Damchok area, that is basically the Dala Junction. But all said and done, what I can say is that we want to tell to Chinese that disengagement has taken place from Bogra hot spring and north and south of Pangangsu. De-induction of troops has not taken place. There are 60,000 troops on the either side, and we have got both sides have got armor, artillery, rockets, and now, as far as India is concerned, we are fast catching up as far as infrastructure is concerned. From Ladakh to Arunachal Pradesh, you find state-of-art roads have been made, tunnels have been made, our logistic build-up has come up till border, our villages have come, these vibrant villages that Abhishek was speaking, of course they have come up. And what more is important is that the airfield which are very close to the line of structural control have been reactivated and resurfaced and their length has been increasing, including Noema airfield. So I can only say that we are now pushing Chinese. We are giving them a fair idea that we mean business. And in case if they don't go back, we are there to stay ourselves. And especially in Ladakh, we can say that as of today, we have made permanent basis. We have made a habitat of all these 62,000 to about 1 lakh troops. There is a total infrastructure which is coming. And we are also making a road from alternate to Darbuk, Shok, Dolak by Goldi from Sesarla, which is basically a glaciated trade. I try to tell them that India means business. If they don't go back, we are not going to come back either. And we are there to stay. And we are putting tremendous pressure on Chinese that they must able to disengage from Dapsang and also Damchok and try to de-induct troops, which has not been done so far.
Major General, just a quick follow-up question. When we talk about the BRICS summit, do you expect some positive development on the sidelines of the BRICS summit of the talks between Jaishankar and Xi Jinping when it comes to resolving the border dispute? Because India's stand has been very firm from the very start that India will not back down.
Absolutely. I think my point is the talks should always continue. There have been a 19th Corps Commander meeting which is taking place tomorrow. So every talk builds up some positive sign. But in any way to make looks as if getting something now in this talk is very less. But yes, what can happen is you're making a ground for on the sideline of G20 when Xi Jinping will be also coming and Prime Minister Modi can also meet with each other. The way they met in Bali on basically last BRICS summit which took place in Indonesia, the sideline of that they met. So possibly, they will meet again. And this is a good sign. You keep on talking, something will come out of it. But as far as India is concerned, we have given our stand very clear.
Yes.
India means business. We are not going to cow down. We will now look into the Chinese eyes. And we said that until unless you do not maintain status quo April 2020, it cannot be business as usual. The relation between India and China cannot improve, especially economic relations, till a status quo 2020 of April is not maintain. I suppose that is very clear to China now, and they are trying now their best that in case we have to take our relationship forward, they have no choice but to go back from Japsan and also resolve them so. But we are not waiting for this. I suppose this talk will be a positive sign, and this may be making a ground for sideline talk between Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Modi on the sidelines of BRICS, which take place in New Delhi in month of September.
All right, Major General, appreciate you speaking to us. So Major General A.K. Sewach on the India-China talks that would take place tomorrow.